Good evening. Hope you had a wonderful, productive, blessed Tuesday in the Lord. I did not realize until probably yesterday, over the weekend, that we have yet another Democratic presidential debate this evening. And I hope we all have a chance to tune in. I was talking to a family member and we were talking politics over lunch, and I asked him, who would you vote for? He was like, anybody except I won't say the noun that he used or adjective as far as who's presently in office. But it is incumbent on all of us to know the facts, the information. We might not ever get to the facts, the truth, but seemingly who seems to be the best candidate. And in 1Chron.9, when I just read this, the Lord said, this is a good boilerplate or a guide to choose a candidate, because there's so many. I know Elizabeth Warren is inching up with Joe Biden, and then someone told me Cory Booker is running out of money, and I'm not sure what's going on with Kamala Harris and such and so and on and on. But in 1Chron.9, 3 verses that stuck out at me as far as if you are contemplating someone for a position, someone for leadership, someone who has responsibility, and you're looking for that candidate. In verse 20, it says, and Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, was the ruler over them in time past. Now we know this is when the Israelites were taken into captivity and brought to Babylon. But they're going back in history as far as what has happened. Yeah. And in verse 1, it talks about that they were carried away because of their transgression. But like I said, in verse 20, it talks about the son of Phinehas, and he was a ruler over them in time past. And very important, the Lord was with him. If we are looking for someone to be in a position of authority, we want to see that the Lord's hand is on them. And you can see the fruit. Now, they might not be able to proselytize and preach, in a microphone in the debates, but discernment would tell you, oh yeah, there's something different about this person. This is a person of faith. This is a person with the favor of the Lord on their life. Okay? Yes, indeed. In verse 22, so that was the first one. The Lord was with them. Verse 22, it says, and all these were chosen to be porters in the gates, workers, right? And it gives a number. These were reckoned by their genealogy and their villages, whom David and Samuel, the seer, ordained in their set office. They were appointed for work. Who is appointing or ordaining or sending them with authority? Was it because, they had some connections, because I dated this person, then they gave me this promotion, I was able to rise up in the ranks? Or did they get legitimate promotion from the Lord? Again, look at how did they ascend to their present position. And in verse 27, another one. And they lodged round about the house of God, because the charge was upon them, and the opening thereof every morning pertained to them. Every morning and night they were there at their post. They were responsible. They were faithful. Is this candidate hardworking? They get up, they rise up, and they are in their place of position. They're not, making excuses. You could pick up if someone is slowful or if they're about the business. And another verse is, that's 27 and 33. And these are the singers, chief of the fathers of the Levites, who remaining in their chambers were free, for they were employed in that work day and night. Like I said, they work till the midnight oil. I think about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, how she is sometimes reading her briefs for the Supreme Court. They said up until 2 a.m. She's a hard worker. Burning the midnight oil. Now, we don't always have to, we want our rest and balance, but we want someone who is not slowful. Because today is October 15th, we go to Proverbs 15. And of course, we know the Proverbs talk about industry and hard work. And we want to make sure that this person is wise and discerning. Can they take instruction? Do they study the answer before blurting out or before withdrawing troops? Are they impulsive, or do they sit back and really take in counsel? In verse 28, the heart of the righteous studieth to answer, studieth to respond, research, but the mouth of the wicked just poureth out. They're just like, oh, let me just do this, let me do that. And then they spill, and then it's just a mess, a disaster. We want someone who can receive instruction. They hear the reproof of life. They abide among the wise. That's in verse 31. They are full of wisdom. And before that, before honor, there's humility. They know how to take instruction and work and get along with others. We'll be able to discern that with tonight's debate. Yeah, we will. All right. I hope you have an excellent evening. Enjoy the blessings of the Lord and be woke, because this is going to be a game changer for the country and the world. But God will give understanding to his people. Good night.